again, but I want to introduce myself again, tell you a little bit about myself, where I came from. We all have different backgrounds, and I think we'll find that we have more commonalities than we do differences. But before I get started, I got my little display back here, and other than the campaign stuff, that poster board has some information about a poll with Brownback and approval ratings and whether his tax plan is working. And it's just kind of some general information that I find quite encouraging for the Libertarian Party. So I encourage you to look at it and turn those percentages into numbers. We have a shot. Not only get 5%, but 51%. So look it over, and I think you'll be encouraged. I was born in Great Bend in 1958, 55 years old. I'm married to Mrs. Umbehr, luckily, Eileen. We met in high school and stayed together. We just never broke up. Met overseas. My dad worked in oil fields, and we grew up in Nigeria, Angola, Singapore, and England. And so we've kind of have a different perspective on things, growing up over there. And so we spent the first 17 years of our adult life in the trash business. We had a mom and pop trash business. And then, the entrepreneur thing kind of kicks in. We had a restaurant, a car wash, and an environmental company. And currently, I'm now an attorney, criminal defense attorney. And been an attorney for about 8 years. I like criminal defense, and I do family law. Because that's where the people with problems, desperate problems, you meet these people and you can really feel good about what you do. And in 8 years, I've had one innocent client. All the rest of them was guilty of sin. But the idea of it is, though, we are a nation of laws, and as a nation of laws, the government, the state, the police have to follow the rules if they want to get the convictions. We are tremendously successful, far beyond our wildest dreams in that regard, because the cops don't follow the rules. They don't follow the Fourth Amendment. I don't think they can count to 4. I'm sure there's a good cop out there. I just haven't met him yet. I look forward to it, but just haven't met him yet. And so, and we don't have to play around and practice in criminal law very long before you get a constitutional issue. And if you're going to get your client off, it's going to be that they did violate one of his constitutional rights. Fourth Amendment, right to counsel, right to fair trial, those kind of things. I was Republican most of my life because my dad was Republican, so you just kind of grew up that way. And but as through my life experiences, the Republican Party kept getting farther and farther away from what I believed in. So I started researching the Libertarian Party. I bought the books, several books. I'm an avid reader, and I found that the Libertarian parties have always embraced what I firmly believe. And what I came to understand is, the Republican Party has views that go from very mild and moderate to very extreme. If you're an extreme Republican, you want to nail the 10 Commandments at the schoolhouse door and have prayer in schools. If you're a Democrat, you want abortion on demand, no age limit, no parental consent. And if you're a Libertarian, we have some views too that I don't necessarily subscribe to. Open borders. Well, legalize all the drugs. Well, we still got to run the country, and we still have children, we still have things. So, if you draw a circle around the middle of all the views, you end up Libertarian. If you take the Libertarian shortest quiz on earth, most people find themselves in that Libertarian box because I think we all have, when it comes right down to it, we can all agree on those very centrist views of that regard. The Libertarian Party is about a party of freedom, and unless you have freedom, you're not going to be happy in this life. Okay. And so, I would like to say that both Tresa and I are approaching this, in 2 different sets of views, but we're together in this, and we want to make a name for the Republican Party. This is a year that I think we're going to really do something great, whoever's nominated. And, it's one of those things we got to get behind either candidate. And, you know, coming to these meetings like this. We have the same meetings in Shawnee County. Next Monday night we're having a big meeting in Riley County and doing basically the same thing. So I thank you for coming tonight. Give us a listen. We have different views, but they're all good views. And so thank you, and I'll turn the floor over to Tresa.
Thank you, Keaton. My name is Tresa McAlhaney, and I'm a lifelong Kansas resident, 34 years old, married, 4 kids, and I currently stay at home and raise my family. I homeschool my older kids, and in my afternoons, evenings, and weekends for the last few years, I've been branching out into activist work. I didn't come out into the Libertarian Party to be doing this, but I find myself in this position, and I feel very honored to be here and to be supported by so many of you who are here and so many more out in the rest of Kansas. We are starting a movement, and it is growing, and people are interested in new ideas. I feel honored to be part of that, and I feel like my vision is bigger than the 2014 election in Kansas. It is farther than fixing the problems that we have in our government today. I think if we're having the same arguments we are having right now about tax policy, social issues, energy, the environment, in 10 years or 12 years from now, 2 or 3 election cycles from now, we might as well just give up. And I feel like the time is now, and people are ready to come together and fix the mess. I think that we know that we have been sleeping too long and just letting things get way out of control in politics. I think it's a product of a lot of things, but I find myself on this path trying to get past it because I think that there's really great things coming. I'm worried about what kind of world my children are going to inherit, what kind of shape our croplands are going to be in, another 10 years of the chemically intensive crops that we're growing. I think it just seems like there's going to be a breaking point, and they're not preparing for it to my satisfaction in our government. So I'm standing up for water and for the soil in our state and in our nation, and the animals, the way we treat our animals, what kind of emissions we have. I think that a lot of the things that I'm interested in I can affect as governor. So that's why I'm running for the Libertarian Party. I think that the Libertarian Party has the answers, the policy answers that will balance out what's going on in politics right now. Libertarians, if we have our vision, I think that it's going to be, I think it might be overly restrictive in this day and age because the way that our Constitution was written it was at a time when there wasn't all these things that have come into our modern society. And I think that we are going to have a bigger government than Libertarians are ever going to be happy with. But I think that it is the proper balance to bring us back to a center point. I think that I should tell you right now, in me, you're not going to get a great politician in this race. I'm a policy girl, and my vision for the office of governor is that you go in there, what's my numbers? I just wrote it down today. Governor's office, $16 million per year is what they spend in the governor's office. Nothing else. I can say to the people of Kansas, we're going to cut that way down. I think it's absolutely ridiculous that the governor's office is spending that kind of money to be a politician while he's in office to ensure whatever happens in the next election or whatever's going on up there. You look through the budget, it's a mess, it's way overloaded, everybody's ready for the cuts that need to be made, and I think that the candidates that we have on ballot, prospective ballot, are not going to fix the problems. Sam Brownback is part of the problem. Paul Davis, I think, lacks the passion and will have to take enough money and enough, engage in enough politics to be elected, 1 minute, that he also will be a compromised candidate. I want to hire someone to go in there who has no political ambition, but to go in and clean it up like a business, or like, you know, a socially conscious business that I think the government is meant to be. So we'll go in there and we'll cut it down, and then we'll leave I like to say that I'll hire somebody for a couple departments and their job will be to phase it completely out. So your job is to get rid of this by the next time we have an election. I think that's the spirit that needs to come. So you need a newbie, you need somebody that's never done this before. I'm your guy. I have more to tell you, but we'll do that along the way. So thank you. Nice to meet you.